We are actually recording at this moment in time so that I don't forget to start the recording. And less than 1 minute to go. Give everyone who's coming a chance to get here, but we will start on time. One of my all-time favorite movies was Smokey and the Bandit. And one of the lines in that movie, for any of you who have seen it, you might remember the line in the movie where he says, "We have a long ways to go and a short time to get there." And that's the way we are tonight. We have a long ways to go and a short time to get there. We're going to cover a lot of material tonight. So welcome everybody. Good evening to using Facebook groups effectively and efficiently. And it's not just Facebook groups. We're going to look at a lot of aspects of Facebook, not just groups. This started off as a group conversation a couple of days ago, people asking questions about groups. And as I expanded the webinar and the material, I realized that we need to cover a lot of different topics. So we really are going to talk a lot about a lot of things tonight. Now, I got to warn you. I want to warn you that we're going to talk about several topics, each of which could easily take 2 or 3 webinars themselves. So we are going to skim the surface of a lot of different things. And, you know, at the end of tonight's training, I promise you, some of you, your heads are going to be spinning. You're going to go, "What did he say?" So therefore, first, it's being recorded. And you'll be able to, access the recording. From now till eternity, you'll be able to go back and look again. And secondly, at the end of the webinar, I'm going to give you another opportunity to join up with me in a private coaching program where we can go back into a lot of the stuff in more detail and in more depth. Because the reality is we can't do it all in one sitting. We can't even do it all in a week. But let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to assume that you can see the screen. And if you can't, if there's anything wrong with the screen share, I am also monitoring Facebook. So if you send me a message, I will get it there. And what I'm going to do now is pull up a PowerPoint presentation, and we're going to start with some slides. So, the general topic tonight is how to get more prospects and sales using Facebook groups, and that's what everyone's interested in, how to use Facebook. So I saw a lot of comments the other day about how to use Facebook groups, when to use them, how to post in them, groups that they don't allow you to post, so you don't know what to do, and spam groups, and etc. And we're going to cover all of that stuff tonight. But before we do that, I want to take a look at Facebook today, because there's just a lot to learn. Now, Facebook itself is growing, and it's always changing. Every week there's something new in Facebook. And keeping up with Facebook is almost a full-time job in and of itself. But there's some important things to understand about social media in general and Facebook in particular. And the first and most important thing to understand is, I'm sorry to blow your mind here, but you do not sell on social media. You do not. You do not. You cannot. You will not. It will not work. Now, it may seem to you like a lot of people are selling, but I can promise you that they're not. There's very few people who are actually selling something on social media. And you'll understand as we go forward tonight what I mean by that and how we work with it. What you do with social media is you socialize. Look, this is a people business. And the reality is, no matter how many people tell you that you can buy their system, you don't have to spend any money, you don't have to do any work, they'll call your leads for you, their system works on autopilot, people sign up automatically, blah, 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 blah. It's all a bunch of BS. Now, does that mean that you can't occasionally make a sale? Yes, you can. But if you want to build a long-term, sustainable, replicable business, you got to talk to people. It's that simple. You got to talk to people. And that's really what we're going to focus in on tonight, is how to talk to people. You got to treat social media in general like it's a big party. So let me ask you a question. Your friend invites you to come to his house or her house. Would you walk into the front door of that house with a megaphone in your hand, yelling, "Here I am, buy my deal, I got the best deal on the market"? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't do that. If you did, your friend would probably usher you right back out the front door. They'd tell you to go away. You don't do that on social media either. Now, it may seem to you that a lot of people are doing that, but they're misguided. They're poor, misguided souls. They're not going to make any money. You know, the vast majority of people that get involved in social media and get involved in the internet and get involved in network marketing in general don't ever make a penny. Only approximately 1% of the people that get involved actually make real money. Most people quit. They give up because they don't figure it out. And they're misguided and they're doing things that simply don't work. So I want to burst this bubble right away and set the stage, because a lot of what you see out there doesn't work. And you won't succeed if you try to do it. Let's move on. Now, here's the bad news. Nobody comes to Facebook to shop. People don't get out of bed in the morning and say, well, I think I'll go get on Facebook and look for my next business opportunity, or I'll look for a group to sign up with, or I'll look for something to buy. No. When did you shop on Facebook? If you want to shop, where do you go? You go to eBay. You go to Amazon. You don't go to Facebook. People come to Facebook to socialize. They come to Facebook to meet and greet, to show pictures of their children or their grandchildren. They come to brag about where they went on vacation. They come to commiserate how miserable they are. They come to whine, cry, complain, ask advice, but they don't come to shop. I'm hearing some beeps, so I'm going to actually, Cynthia, I'm going to unmute you. Can everybody hear and see okay? Cynthia, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can everybody hear and you can hear and see me?
I can.
Okay. So because I'm hearing beeps, so I don't know what the beeps are all about. All right, mute you back up. Let me look. Okay, it's a great movie. Okay, I see the comments. Great. All right, fine. We're all doing good. Okay, so the important message here is that people don't come to Facebook to shop. So how do you sell them something? You don't. We'll talk about that. That's where we're going to go. So I have some worse news for you. And this is extremely important. You must understand this. Facebook rigorously protects the user experience. Facebook already dislikes MLM and home-based business. They don't like us. And the reason they don't like us is because there are so many people out there doing the things that I'm telling you that don't work. People out there blasting their links all over the place, making their timelines and their pages look like billboards. People hawking their goods like snake oil salesmen, used car salesmen. And Facebook doesn't like that. And they will shut you down if you do too much of it. They will. So the other thing you need to realize about Facebook is the newsfeed is full. There are, I forget what the exact number is right now, but it's over 2 billion people on Facebook, monthly users, 2 billion monthly users. Almost 30% of the Earth's population is on Facebook. Now let's talk about operating from our profile, our personal profile for a minute. You have a personal profile, you can have up to 5,000 friends. So let's just say you have 1,000 friends. Let's say every one of your 1,000 friends posts, let's say 2 times a day. That's 2,000 posts a day. Let's say that, can Facebook show 2,000 posts a day to everyone that's a friend? And the answer is no, they can't. there's not enough room in the news feed. So Facebook throttles what they show it to, what they show your stuff to, and who they show it to. At most, a few percent of your friends see your posts. So I see people post on Facebook, well, this should be a really short post. Anyone who sees this comment just, most of my friends don't bother to even say anything about my post. That's because your friends don't see your posts. Facebook doesn't show your posts to all your friends, let alone your enemies or anybody else. They don't have enough room in the newsfeed to do it. So how do you control who gets to see your posts? And we're going to talk about that. The other thing about Facebook is that there's no such thing as a neutral experience. You know, you've got these little things up there. You can like somebody's post, or you can put a heart up, or you can dislike it, or you can have a sad face, etc. There is nothing neutral. If you do nothing, that's a negative to Facebook. So if you, and we're going to talk about commenting on posts, if you see a post from a friend and you just do nothing, that is a negative for your friend. Because Facebook sees that as the friend's post wasn't important enough for you to even bother giving it a like, or give it a heart, or give it an emoji. So it's very important, and we're gonna go over this over and over and over. It's very important that you comment, like, and put up little hearts and things for people's posts. And the like button is far less has far less weight than the heart button, or even the dislike button for that matter. So the wow button, etc. So there's no such thing as a neutral response in Facebook. And you got to make every piece of content count. Now, as we move through tonight on how to do this, some of you are going to sit there and going to say, wow, I don't have time for that. This takes time. Well, I have some really worse news for you. I don't care what you've been told. I don't care who's blown warm sunshine at you. Building a network marketing organization takes time and work and energy. Plan on 3 to 5 to 7 years or longer. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. If somebody told you things like, well, this product just sells itself, just go show it to all your friends and family, they're all going to want to sign up, they're all going to want to buy in. Most of you have figured out by now that doesn't work. Many of you may have already joined the No Friends Left Club. Your mother won't even answer the phone. She doesn't want to hear about your products anymore. We're going to talk some more about that. So I know some network marketers out there, some people out there that would take me out and they would skin me alive. But I'm going to tell you that if you desperately need money now, next week, go get a job and build your MLM part-time, because network marketing really is designed to be done in your spare time for the first several years. Now, there are exceptions. There have been a few people that have made it big quickly, and I'll tell you how they managed to do that. But very few people manage to make it, even in their first MLM, and I'll tell you why in a moment. The people that manage to build an organization quickly generally come in with massive experience and big Rolodexes. So, for example, a doctor who's been in business for 20 years, or a lawyer, or a financial manager who's been in business for 10 or 20 years and has 1,000 people in his Rolodex that he's well connected with, who can join a network marketing company and then get on the phone and start calling all his friends and say, join me, join me, join me. And 100 of his friends join him, and whoopee, overnight, he's making money. That's the exception, not the rule. One of the people I'd like to point out, there's a lady in one of the organizations I belong to, there's a lady named Lisa, and it's not Lisa Kidder, by the way. This is not Lisa Kidder. Lisa was in network marketing 18 years before she made money. Today she's making $100 million. She's making $1 million a year. She's at least a 7-figure earner. She's making $1 million a year, but she spent 18 years getting there. So for most people, for most mere mortals, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And the reason people fail in their first MLM, and usually in their second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh MLM, is because they think the grass is always greener. They get into an MLM, they think they're going to make money quick. In a few months, they don't make money. They've lost all their friends. And then they look around and they see Joe over there who's making money, and they jump over and they join Joe's thing. And they don't make any money there. So after a few months, they jump somewhere else. You want to know how to win in this business? You want to know the most important, significant thing you can do? Be here in 1 year. Don't quit. I'm going to go backwards here. The Eric Worre path. If you know who Eric Worre is, awesome. If you don't, he's probably one of the most well-known trainers in the industry. He'll tell you that it takes 1 year to become competent and begin to earn some money. 3 years of consistent effort, part-time, to get to an income level where you can go full-time. 5 years of consistent effort to become a six-figure earner, and 7 years to become world-class or an expert. And those are numbers that if you work hard and consistently, you can achieve. Most people don't achieve them. Most people don't. The secret to success, once more, don't give up, don't quit. Be here in 1 year. Many people fail in this business because they quit, because they think it's not working. Trust the system, follow the process, do the work. The reward will come, but you gotta wait for it. It comes on God's time, not yours. So, let's talk about fan pages versus personal profiles. Now, this is a topic that we could do an entire webinar on just this topic. So we're gonna be very brief here. It's very rare to be able to start with a fan page or a business page. And I use the word fan page and business page interchangeably. Very few people can start with a fan page or a business page because A, you don't have a fan base. You don't have a base of people to pull from. It takes time and money to develop a fan page. You gotta be willing to spend at least $5 to $10 a day in Facebook advertising to build a fan base. Now remember, Facebook is in business to make money. It is a publicly traded company. And the way they make money is they charge you to advertise. And the way they do that is through the fan pages and the business pages. So most people come into network marketing in the beginning. They can't spend $5 to $10 a day on Facebook advertising to build a fan base. So you have to start with your profile. Now, you may have heard that Facebook says specifically that your Facebook profile is not to be used for business. Duh, that's right, it's not. So how do you use your Facebook profile for business if Facebook says you can't use it for business and you should do your business on your fan page, but you can't build your fan page because you can't afford $5 a day for advertising on Facebook? That's where we're going to go. And the way you do it is you build a friends list. And then you talk to your friends. These are your new friends, and you build credibility through posting valuable content. These are the key steps. Now, when I say talk to your new friends, you might say to me, well, what's the matter with my existing friends? Here's the problem with your existing friends. When you go to your friends, you go to them with a, hey, I just started this new business and we're all going to make a lot of money. We're going to get rich quick, sign up here. When they get off the floor and quit laughing, they tell you to come back when you have proof. You see, your friends know you. They know you don't have any business experience. They know you've never done anything like this before. Furthermore, they've heard all kinds of crap about network marketing. Hey, this doesn't work. Hey, it's a pyramid scheme. Hey, it's illegal. Hey, you're going to go to jail. I can't believe you got involved in one of those things. But we can talk about prospecting with posture. And for those of you who were at the Great Green event, at Lisa Kidder's talk, and Lisa's a really great person to listen to, but she has a whole course called Prospecting with Posture. It's out on her website. And how to talk to people and how to deflect those kinds of things and objections. Now, your new friends that you're making on Facebook, they don't know you. They don't know what your experience and background is. Now, I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I hear people talk about faking it till you make it. I violently disagree with that concept. Don't fake anything. It's dishonest. Don't fake it. It's dishonest. But having posture, having self-assurance, believing that you can do it is not the same as faking it till you make it. You can have posture and not be faking it. So let's talk about Facebook groups. There are two major categories of groups. There's the Spamfest groups and the legitimate groups. I'm calling them legitimate groups, not that Spamfest groups aren't legitimate. It's just that I didn't know what else to call the other groups, the legitimate groups. So there are groups out on Facebook for anything you can imagine. No matter what it is, there's a group for it. There's even a group for underwater basket weaving. And I mean, you can laugh your butt off, but it's there. Underwater basket weaving. I'll show you. We'll look it up. It's actually there. It's a group. And these groups mostly have in their rules and regulations, the idea that you can't post anything in the group about business. You can't post a link, you can't put up product pictures, etc. And so that's where you go into this, well, I don't know what to do. I can go into the Spamfest groups and I can put spam up in the Spamfest groups, but people like this Len guy are telling me that doesn't work. We'll talk about what you do in spam groups, how to use them, when to use them, and why to use them. So, in the Spamfest groups. And pretty soon we're going to go actually out to Facebook and we're going to look at this stuff. Hey, I'm sorry, my chair is squeaking. I hope that's not irritating anybody. So in the Spamfest groups, they just are that. They're spam. They're Spamfest. Everyone is hollering, buy my deal. Here it is, buy my deal. Best thing since sliced bread. Okay, best thing since rolled toilet paper. Sign up here today. And they're making outrageous, outlandish, ridiculous promises, which is why Facebook doesn't like home-based business or network marketing. And then in those spam groups, no one's listening. Everyone's yelling. No one's buying anything. Everyone's yelling. So there's a trick here, though. When you post in a spam group, if you have any friends in that spam group, Facebook notifications puts your name in front of your friends, and your friends get to see your name, and you begin to build brand name recognition. Now, I will show you what this means in a few moments. We'll go out and we'll look. So posting in those groups can help you develop brand name recognition. Okay, what's the brand? For those of you who are in the same network marketing company I'm in, which is Isanti Organics, Isanti Organics is not your brand. You don't own the company. It's Michael Winniger's brand. You don't own the company. It's Dr. Levine's brand. You don't own the company. You are your brand. You are the one who has to build your credibility in the marketplace. So that may come as a big shock to you. So when we talk about posting in spam groups, we're going to recommend that you don't post more than 10 groups per day in the beginning. And the reason for that, and I wanted to put this in writing, is Big Brother is watching. Now, what do I mean by that? Facebook is watching every move you make. They basically know when you go potty. They know everything about you. It's all in computers. It's the biggest database on the planet. And they watch your normal behavior. So if I say to you tonight, you can post in these groups, here's how and here's when, and you go off and post in 100 groups tomorrow you will be shut down. Because Facebook will see that behavior as unusual for you, and they will shut you down. They're going to go, what's he doing? Something's going on here. This is weird. He's never done that before. Shut him down. And you're going to get a little notice that says, you're in Facebook jail. Surprise. What we know from experience is that if you're not posting in those groups now and you want to start, you can post it up to 10 groups in the beginning and get away with it. I don't recommend 11. We'll come back to that. Once again, this is another topic that we can spend a whole webinar on this topic alone. Let's move on. We've got a long ways to go, short time to get there. In the legitimate groups, the ones that say you can't post your links, it's party time. Find groups of people who do things that you are interested in, whether it be underwater basket weaving, horseback riding, painting, scuba diving, whatever it is that you like to do, and you go into those groups and you make friends. You meet and greet. And when you meet and greet somebody, you invite them to come into your world, and you chat them up and you get to know them. You become a friend, at least a Facebook friend, a pseudo friend. And I know some of you are sitting there groaning, going, oh my God, I have to do all that. You don't have to. You don't have to. You can keep your 9 to 5. But if you want to build this business, this is what you got to do. Trust me. This is the real deal. Okay? And there's a lot of network marketers out there, by the way, that won't tell you this. They know it. They won't tell it to you. Because they want you to think that if you just sign on the dotted line and give them your money today, you're going to get rich overnight. You're going to show this to all your friends and family. They're all going to want to sign up, blah, 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 blah. Bullcrap. And in the spam groups, there's a lot of people with the, oh, just buy my deal. I made $10,000 last month. You too. You can too. Buy my deal. I'll show you how. They're making their money selling their deal, their course. They may have made $10,000 last month, but I promise you it took them 10 years to do that. That's the part they're not telling you, the backstory. Now, I want to give you a magic question. Again, scripts. We can talk about scripts all night. I'm going to give you one, only one. And I want to give the courtesy of this to Jelena Ostrovska. If you don't know who she is, I'll let you know in a few minutes. There are a lot of scripts, but the basic, simplest script is based on what you told me. Now, we're making an assumption here. You've met a person, you've invited them into your world, you've chatted them up a little bit, you know something about them. They have a kid in college, they have a stomach problem, they have an energy issue, whatever it is. Based on what you told me, I have something that might interest you, help you, etc. Are you open to taking a look? Now, this is worded very specifically, are you open? And the reason is, there's a piece of psychology here. The reason is that most people will not tell you they're not open. If you ask them, are you willing? The probable or possible answer is not now, I don't have time right now. Are you open? Most people will say, well, yeah, I'm open. And you add, if not, no biggie. That is a slight psychological takeaway. Nobody likes to have anything taken away from them. Okay? So this is a non-threatening question. It has a very subtle takeaway. And at the end of the question, you get to keep the friend. If they say, yeah, I'll take a look, you say, fine. If they say, no, I won't take a look, you say, fine. When they say no, and most will, many will, thank them for their time, ask them if it is okay to check back in the future. I recommend strongly you get some sort of a customer resource manager and keep track. And the customer resource manager is not yellow sticky notes plastered all over your computer screen. Check back periodically with them. You've already asked them if it's okay to check back in the future, let them know how things are going. So many times, no simply means not now. They're busy, they're distracted. They've got a kid's soccer game tonight. No, I'm not, I don't have time. So follow up. In these days and times, it takes up to 14 exposures to get somebody to say yes. Now, I can't give you a source for that number. I don't remember where I got it, but I remember believing it was credible. We've always heard it takes at least 3 to 5 to 7 exposures. The number's up higher these days, 10 to 14. And the next one is actually absolutely correct. By research, by scientific measurement, people have the attention span of a goldfish, about 7 seconds. They're scrolling their cell phones as fast as their thumbs can go. And you got that very short little teeny tiny period of time to try to grab their attention and get them to stop scrolling. Because the vast majority of what people do these days is done on mobile devices. Again, I can't quote a number off the top of my head. I don't remember what the number is, but it's very high. 60, 70, 80% of everything is being done on mobile devices. And I mean, you just see that with people walking down the street, they're just scrolling their phones. Okay. And by the way, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to throw them up in the chat or hang on to them. We'll come off the screen share in a little while, and we'll do Q&A and et cetera. So that's all. Let's see. Now, I want to talk about your profile page. So let's go backwards. We've decided that most mere mortals cannot start with their fan page or business page. There's no reason to have one right away. Well, I'm going to take that back. There is a reason to have one right away, but it's not the reason you might think. So your profile picture wants to be a picture of you, not your family, your kids, your pets, or your hobby, unless you're doing the hobby and are clearly recognizable. You are your brand. Your profile picture is a picture of you. It's a full frontal face can be recognized picture of you. And you don't need to go hire a professional photographer to make it. You can do it with your cell phone. Your cell phones are perfectly adequate to do this. You don't need a professionally done picture, but you need a nice picture. Your cover photo should reflect something about your lifestyle or what's important to you. I strongly recommend that you don't have a cover photo that is either politically inclined or religiously inclined. Now, there are people who will disagree with what I'm about to say, but if you're a beginner in this business, you don't have the credibility to put up a cover photo that reflects a political bias, for example, because you've just eliminated 50% of your potential audience, right? Just keep it clean. My cover photo right now shows me a picture of me speaking at the Great Green event. Now, the one I had before it showed me water skiing. Okay. Your intro, succinct, reflecting your values. You got 100 characters to let me get a glimpse into your life and values. And the reason is, I'm going to check your cover photo. I'm going to check your profile page before I accept a friend request from you, or before I send you a friend request, or before I agree to get to know you further. I'm going to look at those things. You have a section where you can put featured photos. Those pictures are very important. They give me a glimpse into who you are. You are building a business. I want to know who you are. Okay, in the beginning, I don't care about your business. I want to know who you are. Your posts are very valuable content. We'll talk about a little bit more about that. Posting, what to post, when to post, how often to post, where to find content to post. That's a topic of a whole webinar. In fact, it's a topic of a whole course, training course, all by itself. Your follow button should be turned on. If you don't know where to find your follow button, it's under your timeline settings, public posts. Your profile should be public, and your phone number should be published, but only if you're in business. Now, I say that a bit sarcastically. I've seen people say, well, I don't want my profile to be public because I have kids. I don't want my profile to be public because I don't want my family to know what I'm doing. Well, you got three choices here. If your profile's not public, you're going to have a heck of a hard time building a business. But that doesn't mean you have to splatter your kids and your kids' photos and what they're doing all over your profile either. You can use, Facebook has a feature called lists, where you can use lists to determine who gets to see which ones of your posts. So there are things you can do. And the final thing you can do is you can have two profiles, one that's your personal profile and one that's the one you use for business. Now, I got to tell you in all honesty, this is something I meant to look up today and I didn't. And I don't want to go on record as recommending strongly that you have two profiles. There was a day and time when Facebook really frowned on that. And I've heard it suggested recently that you can do that. You might be able to do it. I don't know if Facebook likes it, so it's something that I'll come back to. But, and again, if you're in business, you want people to be able to get in touch with you. You want your phone number and your email address and stuff out there so that people can look you up and get in touch with you. I mean, you're in business. You're building a business. I mean, if you opened a pizza shop on the corner of 5th and Main, you wouldn't want your friends to not know that you have a pizza shop, would you? If you open a McDonald's, would you want your friends to not know you have a McDonald's? Why do you not want your friends to know you have a business? It's okay if they laugh at you. If you do what I'm telling you and you stay the course and you build and you follow follow the system, you'll have the last laugh. You will, I promise. You'll have the last laugh. Excuse me. Statistically, if you stay with a network marketing company for 10 years, you have a very high probability of reaching the top 10% of that company, and that puts you in millionaire status in many cases. Where else can you go where you can have the chance of becoming a millionaire in the next 10 years with such a little investment? Think about it. Yes, it takes work. Yes, it takes time. Okay, friend requests. You do not generally send friend requests. You receive friend requests. We'll talk more about that. We're going to go live in just a moment. When you do, you include a note of explanation. Do not send friend requests without telling the person why you're sending them a friend request. I get these friend requests all the time, and who are you? Why are you sending this to me? What do you want from me? And I have to go try to figure out who you are and what you want and why you're sending me a friend request. Don't do that. Don't do that. In other words, tell them why you requested them. And the reason you don't send friend requests, for the most part, is Facebook frowns on unanswered friend requests. So if you got a bunch of friend requests out there and the people aren't responding back to you, Facebook is frowning on that a little bit. They're going, I don't know what this guy's up to. What you do is you use the follow feature. I'll show you how to do that. Once again, you send a message of explanation. Hey, I just followed you. Here's why. I saw you over on Tom's page, and I came and I looked at your profile, and I love your profile picture. You look like a really interesting, exciting person to me. I'd like to get to know more about you. And if you would like, if you're so inclined, you can send me a friend request, and I'll honor it. So, and there's no limits or restrictions on how many follows you can send, but there is a limit on how many friends you can have. 5,000. It may seem like a lot, but there's a lot of people that have hit that 5,000 limit. I know a lot of people in this business that if I tell them I want to send them a friend request, they tell me they have to boot somebody off their list so they can make room for me, okay? Because their list is full. And the list is full of people that don't do anything, but that's the nature of the beast. So let's go live. Here's some of the things we're going to do. We're going to look at a profile page. I'm going to use mine as an example. I'm not going to tell you mine's perfect, but it's going to give you an example of the things I'm talking about. We're going to look at finding groups. We're going to look at following people and your news feed and handling friend requests. These are some of the things we're going to do. Okay? So first off, I'm going to come off the screen share for, well, let's see, I'm going to end the show for just a moment, stop the share, and I'm going to come back out here. And I'm going to ask, let's see, does anybody have, I don't see any questions. Okay, so are we okay in the question department at this point? I can just keep moving on. Folks, I guess we are. Okay, so let me go back to the screen share again. Screen share, share, and let me get rid of that and go to Facebook. Nicole. Okay. I don't know what that's about, but nothing I can do about it right now. Okay, profile. Your profile. These are some of the things we talked about. A, cover photo. I'm sorry, profile picture. Picture of you. Not a picture of your dog, cat. A picture of you. Because you're building a business. You're the brand. Cover photo. Reflecting your lifestyle or reflecting your values or reflecting something that's important to you. What is it, if I come to your profile page, what do you want me to know about you? What's important? Why should I become a friend of yours? Why should we get to know each other? Okay, so this is what you're looking to do. You're looking to send a message. And notice that the social media icons, links are up there so that I can find you on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, or wherever else you happen to be, including your website. Okay, so that's those. Now, Your intro. A little short. You've only got about 100 characters here. Maybe it's 101. I'm not sure. A little short. What's really important? And mine, outdoor adventuresome single guy, loves life, blah, blah, blah. Here's a phone number, my 800 number. There's my website. And that's about all you can squeeze in there. You squeeze in there what's important. Fill out this section. Owner at Lens Healthy Aging. That's one of my web pages, one of my, business pages. Owner at Adventures in Parenting. It's another one of my business pages, etc. Where do I live? Okay, where am I from? Things that people want to know. These are the pictures that I mentioned. That, you know, these are the first things that people are going to see. And what do they reflect? They reflect a lifestyle. They reflect me commiserating with a famous leader in the business. So they reflect my outdoor enthusiasm, my water skiing. They reflect that I'm a pilot, and where I live, and etc. So, and then I teach and I train. So these are really some of the important things. Now, I mentioned the follow button. You want your follow button turned on. Here's where you find the follow button. Once again, what I'm about to do is take you into settings. Settings we can spend a half hour on. We're only going to look at one setting, and that's the follow button. So under right here where the three dots are, click on Timeline Settings. And under Public Posts, right there, who can follow me? And you want that set to public. Okay, many people have that follow button turned off. Many people already know where that it exists. That's the follow button. Okay, that's where you can go get your follow button. Now, there's a lot of other things that we can set. We can set our privacy settings, timeline and tagging, lots and lots and lots of other settings. And on another training sometime, we'll go through all of those settings, what they mean and how you want to have them set. If I started into those settings tonight, we'd be here all night. We're not going to do that, okay? So let me go back. So those are the most important things I want to tell you about your timeline. Now, when you're posting, and this is what I was saying before, when people come in and they leave a heart or a wow or something, that's really important. When you go to your friend's post, make sure, don't just look at the post, make sure to leave them one of these kinds of things. And the reason is that boosts the post in Facebook's eyes. Facebook thinks that if people are engaging, the post must be important. Doing nothing means, in Facebook's eyes, that wasn't a very good post. So doing nothing is actually a negative in Facebook's eyes. And this is going to become very important because we're going to learn how to use all these features to build your business. Again, when people, and I haven't done this with this post today, but let's go down to one from yesterday. When people make a comment on your post, here's yesterday, it's very important that you go comment back, okay? Now, we're going to talk a little bit about how often to post and comments and things like that. There's a lot more to the story than I'm telling you tonight, a lot more. This is the bare beginning of the story, okay? Let's talk about groups. This is the Facebook search bar. Guess what you can do with it? You can search for anything you want. You can search. So how do I find groups? I search for them. So let's say I want to find MLM groups. Let me just click on MLM and groups. And looky here, there's tons and tons and tons and tons. Whew, it never ends. Tons of groups. You can search here for just about anything you want. So I like snow skiing. You think there might be a snow skiing group? How about that? 2,300 members, 2 posts a day. Okay, now That might be a group that I want to join. I've never joined that group. I don't know why, because I haven't been pushing snow skiing recently. But nevertheless, whatever you like, whatever you're interested in, there's a group out there. There are groups out there that do it. Now, if we go into this group, there's a few things I want you to notice. One is the groups will normally have, they'll normally have a discussion or an about. This is the official group page for skiing community, etc. We encourage you to participate and share your stories, thoughts. We also recommend you join in on our upcoming discussions. I'm going to go ahead and join the group. I'm going to join as me, as Len Mooney, his personal profile. Now, many groups, when you join them, will have a set of questions that they want you to answer, and that's not uncommon, but that's okay. Now, if the group says that that you're not allowed to post links to your pages or your products or anything like that, by all means, obey the group's rules. We're going to go in a minute to some other groups. I'm going to take you to MLM Baby Boomers. Let me do this. Now, one of my passions is helping baby boomers become healthy, wealthy, and active as they age. There are many people, I'm not going to tell you how old I am. You don't need to know. But there are many people that know how old I am, and they go, wow, I hope when I'm your age, I can still do the things you're doing. Well, I have an answer for you. I can tell you how to do that. So here's a group called MLM Baby Boomers. And I'm going to show you this group. And the reason I'm going to show you this group is this group sort of has a leg in both worlds. Now, first off, there are, I think the number was, how many people were in the group? Let's look here. You can see how many people are in the group. This is a smaller group, 669 members. So the first thing you can do is you can look at the group and you can see who's in the group. And if you just click on that, you're going to get a list of all the members. And here's the admin. Terry Landreth is the admin. Now, when you join a group, I strongly recommend that you friend the admin or admins. We'll talk about that. Now, let me just talk about it now. I'm telling you there's too many things we're going to talk about later. Later is never going to come. The reason is the admin is generally going to be friends with most of the people in the group, many of them. So when you message people in the group, the message will go to their inbox. Now, you do realize that just because you send somebody a message doesn't mean they're ever going to see it. Because if they're not a friend, the message doesn't show up in their inbox. Okay, it shows up in their other folder. That's a whole other topic. But if you become a friend with the admin, then you can, and Terry's, by the way, is in our company, but if you become a friend with the admin, then generally that means that most of the other people in the group are just one what's the word I'm looking for? One thing away from you. There's a word for it. I can't remember what it was. It's okay. So you can send them a message. Like I could send Dennis a message, and there's a really good chance that he would get it. Now, here's an interesting thing. Members with things in common. Dennis. Notice that Dennis has his follow button turned on. So I can just follow Dennis. Now, would I do that? I don't know. Probably because I'm in a group that I'm very familiar with right now. But in general, what I'm more than likely to do is I'm going to right-click Dennis, open link in a new tab, and I'm going to go look at his profile. And this is what I was telling you. We're going to look at his profile. Nice profile picture. I like his, I like his, let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. I like that. Uplifting. Okay, study that, blah, blah, blah. He's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Holy crap, so am I. So this is a case where I might actually just jump in and send a friend request, but I'm not going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the follow button, and I'm going to send him a message. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Dennis. I sent I followed you, and I see we are both from Pittsburgh, PA. How awesome is that? Okay. I saw you in the MLM Baby Boomers group. Okay. Now, first off, I failed typing in high school. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Dennis. Okay. Okay. How awesome is that? That deserves to have a question mark to be grammatical. I saw you in the MLM Baby Boomers group, misspelled. So I'm telling him why I followed him, and I'm sending him a message. And the end of the message is, if you send me a friend request, I will gladly accept it. Now, what am I doing here? First off, I'm telling Dennis why I followed him, where I saw him. And I'm making a comment, something about him. You're from Pittsburgh. That's awesome. I actually like his cover photo. If we weren't from the same city, Pittsburgh, I might make a comment about his cover photo. And I'm suggesting to him that if he's so inclined, that he can send me a friend request. I don't want to blindly send out friend requests, because if he misses it, doesn't see it, doesn't answer it, then it's just sitting out there. So I'm going to send that off. I followed him. And now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to look at his posts, and I'm going to see a post. I'm just going to go ahead, not like, but come on, you can do it, Facebook. You can do it. There we go. Because the heart has a higher score in Facebook's eyes than like. I'm going to tell him I've tried CBD. And I also sent you a PM. So I'm going to let him know that I sent a PM, a private message. And I'm going to hope that he's not mad at me for doing this in front of a live audience recording it. Because, in general, I'm going to tell you that's probably not a great idea. But I'm giving you an idea of what you can do. Now, it doesn't matter what group you're in. It doesn't matter whether it's Underwater Basket Weave or anything else. It's always the same. Now, this happens to be a group where if you read the group rules, which is in the About section, I believe, you're welcome to join this group. Please develop relationship. Use this group to develop. Look at this. Use this group to develop relationships with other baby boomers. And it goes on to say, there's no auto posting. It goes on to say that you can post a product or opportunity, add a personal comment, et cetera, et cetera. It gives you rules. Follow the rules. Do what it says. Okay. This is one of the rare groups where you have sort of a leg in both worlds. You can post, I believe it has a restriction of one product post a week. Okay. No auto posting, and et cetera. So you got to read the rules and follow them. Now let's look at another kind of group. Let's just go back to the MLM groups, and we can pick up any of these MLM groups. I promise you, these are all spam fests. So this is a spam fest, I think. First off, you can tell just by looking at the posts in the group. As soon as Facebook wakes up here, we could come on, Facebook, you can do this. Okay, so here we go. Receive instant unlimited daily payments of. Okay, this is why Facebook doesn't like our businesses. There's a beautiful example of why Facebook doesn't like it. All right, now, but here's the important thing. Notice this group has 41,709 members. And I'm going to click on the members. And 127 of those members are friends of mine. Wow. So what does that mean? First off, let's go back to the discussion. If you post in this group, so here's a nice post. If I post in this group, some nice post like that, people are going to see it. They're going to see your name. More importantly, all 127 of those friends are going to get a message, a notification that I posted in the group. They're going to see my name. I am the person that I want to put my name in front of. I want my name to be in front of those people. I want them to say, that Len Mooney guy, I keep seeing him all over the place. I wonder what he's up to. And come look at me and ask, what am I up to? So posting in these groups, and you can post tips, you can post offers, hot off the press. I sometimes post pictures about my ebooks in these groups. And posting in these groups, what it does is it gets your name in front of the people in the groups who are your friends. Now you might say to me, well, I don't have any friends in any of those groups. Well, okay, start to make some. I mean, that's all I can say. So, I mean, I can go back, for example, to this guy, Jay Dyson. I don't know if he's a friend of mine or not. He's not a friend, but I like his post. So I can come here right now. I can like his post. Actually, I can love his post because that gives a little bit higher kick. Just liking your attitude. Now he's going to get a message that I comment on his post. I followed you, and I'm going to tell him I followed you. And if I could learn to type. Now, I'm violating my own rule. I normally wouldn't do this. I normally would go to his personal profile. In fact, before I click the send button, I'm going to actually go do that real quick. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it because I just don't want to keep putting other people's personal profiles up in the recording. So, I would send them a message. I'd tell them I followed them. I'd tell them to send me a fresh referral request and I'd accept it and just leave it at that for today. Just leave it alone. So you can go into the spam groups and you can begin to meet people and make friends. I'm going to tease you with this. Underwater basket weaving. You thought I was joking. I wasn't. There it is, underwater basket weaving. If you read the about, it'll tell you that it's an adult group. And anyhow, but it's there. Here's the fun part. You can find a group for anything you want, anything. Okay. There's a group called Aging Gracefully, which I'll point out to you, which I think, at least, especially for the ladies, this might be a really fun group. And there's a group called Women Aging Gracefully, has 18,000 members in it. 18,000 members. Do you think you can find somebody to talk to if you got 18,000 people? Now, I didn't join that group. This one, I've been a member since August. I forget. I'm going to open a link in the new tab. I'm just going to open that group. Now we're going to wrap up here in the next few minutes. I knew we were going to run over an hour tonight. And the reality is we could keep going for hours. So I want to wrap this up. We're going to jump through a couple more hoops and then I'll show you a couple of things. So Aging Gracefully, 279, 4,000, over 2,900 members, 2,900 members. And the group has rules. I don't know what the rules are. I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm going to tell you, read the rules. Get to know the admins, read the rules. This group is listed at my Facebook community page, blah, 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 blah. It's a place for uplifting and inspiration. And just start looking for people to get to know. Now, let's cover a couple of other things real quickly. I'm going to just come back to my homepage for a minute. I'm going to cover a couple other things real quickly. If Facebook cooperates. So, I'm going to cover fan pages. If I go Tony Robbins, how many of you are Tony Robbins fans? You think, and I'm going to look at pages. I just want to look at pages. 3.7 million people like Tony Robbins fan page. Do you think you could find somebody to talk to that you have something in common with? And open the fan page. Now I'm going to show you a trick. Now you can do this. You can do this with any page you want. Okay? So here's the fan page, people who like Tony Robbins. Now, first off, notice that there's a lot of people here. What I want to do, however, is I just want to get the feed. You don't want the people, I want the feed. I don't want to scroll through 5,000 people. It's not coming up the way I wanted it to. What is the matter with this? Oh, it's people who like Tony Robbins. That's not what I asked for. Tony. You notice that people who like Tony Robbins. That's not what I asked for. I just want the Tony Robbins fan page, period. Period. It should be. I thought that's what I clicked on. Tony Robbins home. Okay. So there was people that like Tony Robbins. You can find somebody there. I love his airplane, by the way. I'm a pilot. Man, beautiful. Just a beautiful plane. Okay. So posts. Look at posts. Let them load. When Tony Robbins posts, a lot of people listen. So here's a post. 3,101 people donated. Okay, 1,100 people interacted with this post. If I click that, it will give me a list of people that interacted with that post. And I can go down and I can begin to follow people. So what you do is you come down and you look for the ones. Now he has his follow button. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do any more follows tonight. He does not. He does not have his follow button turned on. I can't follow him. Not turned on. Not turned on. There. She's got her follow button turned on. She lives in Bangkok. Nah, probably not a strong contender for me tonight, so I'll skip her. Okay, point is, you can come down through these fan pages. Let me show you one more. We're going to do one more fan page. I'm going to give you Ray Higdon. Once again, go to the pages. Skip the page. 283,000 people like it. Public figure. Guess what? When Ray Higdon posts, people listen. So let's look. Let's look for posts. So 81 people like this post. If I click on the list, a lot of people I know, but I can begin to come down here and find people I don't know. And I can follow them, like Doug, I can follow him. Now, I would go to his page and I would look at Doug and see if he's somebody that I want to follow. Probably is, looks like a nice guy, I don't know. But, oh, he's actually following me. He's following my public posts. Well, I should follow him back. Gosh, why not? See, he's following me. All right, I should follow him back. All right, so the point is, Doug and I can connect. I can go to his page. I can send him a message. We can do things. All right. Now, you can go, Now you might say, okay, wait a minute. If you go to Ray Higdon's fan page or Tony Robbins, aren't you stealing their customers? No, no, no. We're networking. We are networking. We're making friends. We're making friends. Okay. Let me do one more thing. On your own personal news feed, when people post, like Lisa posted, I can do the same thing on my personal newsfeed. I can look up and see who all commented on Lisa's thing, and I can go, there's Laura, there's Deb. I can follow Deb. And we got a mutual friend, and she's the CEO of My Future and Entrepreneurial Journey. I like Deb already. I'm gonna follow Deb. I'm not gonna send her a friend request. I'm gonna follow her. And if I were doing the whole thing here, I would go to her profile, I would check up on her a little bit, and then I'd send her a message. So I'm skipping that step right now. Don't skip that step. I'm doing a training right now. Okay, I'm skipping a step. Okay, you got it? All right, one more thing. How do you handle friend requests? When somebody sends you a friend request, I'm going to pick on Elizabeth. I kept her here today for this intentionally. I'm going to right click, open link in new tab, and I'm going to go take a peek at Elizabeth. And I'm going to look for all the things that I told you about. And there's immediate red flags coming up here. One is she doesn't have anything written up. Two is, now my facial recognition isn't 100%, but I'm not convinced that that's the same person in her profile picture. They look like different people to me. Does anybody else see that, or is it just me? So you see, I'm yeah, you know, I mean, all of this says delete. And I mean, in fact, if I went down here and showed you more pictures, you would see that, okay, this is appears to be a subtle solicitation. And I just gonna delete it. You know, if she gave me links to a nude site, I would mark it as spam. She didn't, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to mark it as spam, because once I hit that spam button, then she's out of Facebook. Facebook's going to shut her down right now. So I'm not going to do that to her. I'm just going to give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she was real and just doesn't know how to play the game here. And again, when somebody sends you a friend request, you must do what I'm telling you to do. Right click it, go to the profile. Anita, are you on the webinar tonight? You might be on the webinar. Self-employed, lives in Houston. Okay, she's from Puerto Rico. All right, that's fine. This isn't the perfect profile. We can do a lot of work to make this profile better, but you know, I would just go ahead. But I'm going to show you one final thing. This is the last thing I'm going to show you, because this is another little trick that I have up my sleeve. I have pre-written responses, and the reason for them is that I'm lazy. Come on, you can just open. Friend requests. I have several different responses. And so I'm going to grab this one. Hi, first name. Thanks for the friend request. Well, let me grab that, copy it, and go back over to, oh, come on, get out of the way. Come on, back over to Facebook. Where are you? To Anita. I'm going to respond to her friend request with a confirm. I'm going to give her that benefit. I'm going to either assume she's in our group or she's not. And if she isn't, maybe she can be. Oh, we met at the Great Green event. Okay. Okay. I know who she is. Great. All right, awesome. Look at that. She sent me a message. I understand. I know who she is. Beautiful. She just made my life easy. Awesome. Awesome. I just accepted your friend request. Let's chat soon. Okay, I want to chat with her. Okay. She told me about using her bug spray for restless leg syndrome. Yes, I want to chat with her. That's important. I told her to get in touch with me. So, but I forgot her name. All right. All right. I'm going to come off the screen share. Whew. I can't do anymore in less than an hour. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I'm gonna, and when I originally said I was going to do this webinar tonight, what I'm about to do was not my intention, but I'm going to do it because I can't cover it all in one night, or even 2 nights, or 3 nights, or 4 nights. So, did you get value? Would you like to dig deeper? I am forming a private coaching community called the Healthy, Wealthy, and Active Aging Society. And the reason is that's my real passion: healthy, wealthy, and active aging. People that can still water ski and snow ski when they're 80, 90, 100, and live a healthy, wealthy life. In that group, we're going to do weekly coaching on building your business, a new topic every week. We're going to go back and we're going to pick up all the stuff that we just skimmed the surface of and spend more time with it. We're going to have our own private Facebook group with access to advanced marketing strategies. I'm going to bring you the best of the best. We may even have some guest speakers from time to time. I'm going to do something that's unique in the industry: one-on-one coaching as needed to help you succeed. People say, well, just go to these groups and do what I did tonight. See, I found friends. And you go, what group should I go to? Which one should I? If you need help, we'll work one-on-one together. We're going to do weekly Q&As where I'll answer your questions. And we're going to do them in webinar, not in webinar rooms like tonight, but in a Zoom meeting room. So this is going to be the shortest path to get from wherever you are right now to where you want to go. And all trainings are going to be recorded and archived for lifetime access. So those are yours. So here's what you do next. You register tonight if you want to be part of this program, all for a low investment of $25 a month, $25 a month. And I can promise you that's an early adopter price. Once people understand the value in this group, they're going to want in, and that means the price goes up. I had originally thought I was going to make it $49, and I decided to do $25 to get started and to reward the early adopters, people that get in right away. So here's a link. You can write that down. I can mail it to you. You can send me a message, etc. But you got to get it all right. lenmooney.mlspsites.com/wealthyaging. And we're going to focus primarily on wealth creation in the beginning. We're going to focus on all these topics that we left off tonight and didn't go deep enough into. And then as time goes by, we'll bring in other topics too, because part of wealthy aging is also healthy aging. If you don't have your health, it doesn't matter how much wealth you got, you're going to spend it all on the doctor, and we don't want to be doing that. So we're going to also look at health aspects. So healthy, wealthy, and active aging, how to continue doing the things you want to do long after most people have sat down in their rocking chair because they're too sick to do them. And I had originally thought it was basically for baby boomers. I'm going to come off the screen share. I had originally thought it was basically for baby boomers, but it really isn't. Because, yeah, I agree. It looks like 2 different people to me, Leighton. Here's the thing. The earlier you get started, the better chance you have of maintaining your health well into old age. The human genome is capable of 120 years or more. We know that. So why don't people get there? Well, the answer is some do, but not in America, not in our society, because we poison ourselves and our society from the day we're born. We're taking bad stuff in. You wouldn't be in this company if you didn't believe that. Okay, so our mission is to help people understand that, and our mission is to do better for ourselves. I did a live today about salmon. Farm-raised salmon has been labeled the most toxic food on the market. Farm-raised salmon. The only good salmon is wild-caught Alaskan salmon. We'll talk more about things like that as time goes on too. So join up in the coaching program. I hope you will. I tell you, I'm going to pour a lot of stuff into this program, and my mission is to help you succeed. So that's really all I have for you tonight. Since I'm doing this, there's no open questions. Since I'm actually using the webinar platform for the first time, there may be something that I'm missing. If I miss a question, if I miss anything, Yeah, looks like, yeah, yeah. Where's the follow button again? Uh, Jerry, um, it is settings, timeline settings, and then what's the name of it? Oh, I can't tell you. We'll have to go look it up. If you really can't find it, shoot me a message. I'll find it. Uh, but it's in timeline settings. Um, I just know where to find it. Okay. All right. I don't see any more questions. Will the recording be available to those that attended? Yes, the recording will be available. I have collected all of you together into an email list. Imagine that. And so I will email the recording to only the people that registered, and the registration is now closed. It should have closed off. And so only the people that registered, because this information, this is very, very valuable information. What we did tonight, I hope you see the value in what we did tonight. And I know that some of your heads are spinning. It's going, oh my God, what did he say? I know that. And that's why we're going to do the coaching program. So I'll help you. I'll help you. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks so much, Lynn. Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's call it a night. It's well past Miller time where I come from. I don't know about you, but it's Miller time. So I'm gonna stop the recording. I'm gonna just say good night to everybody and stop the recording.